been noticing a pattern. Whenever I have a conversation with a guy in today's world, especially a young guy who's like 18 up to around 24, who pretty much just entered adulthood, I always notice something. Something that's not right. They talk, they move, and they make jokes like regular humans, but I can feel that on the inside they feel lost, desperate, isolated, depressed, and corrupted by the modern world. Maybe you are in this situation yourself. You may look and act normal, but the light in your eyes is snuffed. You just simply exist, lost in life. Disgraceful. For the soul to give up when the body is still going strong. This quote by Marcus Aurelius in Meditations perfectly describes the state that a lot of young men nowadays are in. Seemingly having the whole world and life ahead of you, you feel discouraged and tired of life when you just began living it. You're young and physically full of energy, but something is holding you back. With this video, I want to help you if you are desperately searching for answers to just how to start living meaningfully and enjoy life again. Because trust me, I've been in the exact situation myself. If you feel f***ed in life, the only way to unfuck it is to look at somebody else who also felt lost in life but somehow found a way out. This somehow is found in the writings and content of stronger and wiser men than you. You know that saying, before you can be a master, you have to be a student. With the technology nowadays, you can begin improving your life with just a few clicks and either consume some self-improvement content or read some good philosophy books.
Because I was determined, I gotta get over this petty fear. There's no way I can be successful. I can't make a difference in this world if I'm afraid to shit next to somebody.
As always, for starting out with philosophy, I recommend Stoicism because it's a great place to start finding meaning and build a foundation for your life. Read Marcus Aurelius' Meditations, and when you're done reading it, read it again. Of course, consuming content or reading books is not enough. You need to practice it. That's the only way you actually get use out of this. As an example, there is a saying in Meditations, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. You don't need to ponder about the meaning of the universe in a cave for 8 years to understand and start implementing this idea. You have power over your mind. Okay, you are in control of yourself, not outside events. Okay, you are in control of yourself and not what happens on the outside. That's it. Maybe you're stressing about work, school, relationships, the future, girls, habits, or whatever is happening in your life. You need to understand that it's only up to you to realize that these things don't need to stress you out as much as you think, because it is in your control to solve the problem and not in your control to worry about uncertain outcomes. So just apply the principles you learned there in real life, and I promise you that your life quality will increase by a lot in a short amount of time. When it comes to specific questions you want answered, you can leave a comment down below now or just Google your question. There are many different self-improvement websites and channels that are ready to help you out when you face specific situations in life. Why don't you hop on over to our Discord as an example and start communicating with men who are also going through the same struggles as you. This is not a promotion. You can join any Discord you like or any real world community you like. Just make sure that the members there are willing to improve and help each other out. Pretty much you need to start consuming less trashy short form TikTok, YouTube Shorts, or Instagram Reel content and more self-improvement and philosophy books or videos, and start surrounding yourself with people who also crave meaning and improvement in their lives. You can read all the books in the world, master all the philosophies, and consume all the improvement content you want, but if you don't take care of your physical health, all of that is meaningless. This is one of the most important pieces of advice I will share in this video. Start working out. As a man, working out is not optional, it's necessary. My life got 100 times better when around 2 years ago I started going to jiu-jitsu. Having a place where you come at the end of the day, fighting and learning with men who are also there to improve and getting a great workout is something no philosophy book will help you out with. Of course, this doesn't mean that you need to start martial arts. You can simply work out and go to the gym, but I really encourage you to try something like jiu-jitsu, because I thought to myself that I would hate it, and it turned out to be one of the most important and life-changing things in my life. Another important thing to begin drastically improving your life is to quit drugs. I'm not talking about hard drugs. You should quit those immediately, and that's pretty self-explanatory. I'm talking about smoking and alcohol. Quit smoking and either quit or moderate drinking. Smoking, especially vaping, is, I believe, by far the worst drug you could engage in as a young guy, as first of all, it's extremely unhealthy, but second of all, this drug is extremely addicting because it lowers your stress and anxiety, creating a strong dependence on smoking more and more. Plus, you spend so much money on cigarettes, vapes, or whatever, you smell bad, you damage your skin, teeth, and so on. Usually, smoking or drinking too much alcohol is a sign that you want to escape something, perhaps your unsatisfying life. And if you constantly are trying to escape it, how are you gonna make it better? If you want your life to change and your life to gain meaning, you can't go exploring that by being buzzed out of your mind. You need to approach it with a clear mind. Just ask yourself, what do you actually positively gain by smoking or drinking? You will find out that there are a lot more negatives than positives. Talking of escaping, the modern world provides a lot of opportunities to do just that aside from drugs. I'm talking about the casual hookup and clubbing culture. Hell can't be made attractive, so the devil makes attractive the road that leads there. I saw this quote somewhere, and doesn't it accurately describe the pleasure-driven modern world we live in? Drugs, casual sex, clubs, and so on, all of these things are extremely pleasurable, but all of them end up hurting you more than doing anything good for you. Let's first talk about casual hookups. Nowadays, it's celebrated for men to just have a lot of sex with different girls. You feel extremely manly, you feel like a king, but what is the actual reality of this? You are a slave. In the same way you might get addicted to porn, alcohol, or smoking, you can get addicted to one-night stands. You might feel like you are in control, that you're calling the shots and your efforts alone are what gets you the women, but actually you're just being dragged around by the puss. The true power and control of oneself comes from the ability to say no, and when you're running around always saying yes to every girl you find attractive, well, that doesn't sound like you're in control to me. And when you finally realize that you want an actual relationship with a good woman, it might be too late. You might be too corrupted to have that. Why? Because if you were always running around, creating and maintaining a relationship is way different and requires way more work, and you might not be able to adjust. Also, there is nothing honorable in seeking multiple women because there is no discipline in that, no philosophy, no work, just pleasure and danger. Danger because you might get somebody pregnant and that's your whole life, or getting a disease, or losing your soul and drive. And where do you usually go to hook up with these women? Parties or clubs? Now listen, it's okay to have some fun in your youth and party with your friends, but when going to these places becomes a regular thing, especially with the goal of just getting wasted and hooking up, trust me, you're wasting your life and losing yourself more. Youth should not be spent only having fun and no responsibilities. It should be spent learning how to be responsible and realizing that no one will take care of you, only yourself. While it might seem fun and cool to go out to parties and have sex with random women, it can soon become a cycle you can't get out of. What's the solution? Promise yourself not to engage in any random and casual sexual behavior, and remind yourself of this promise every time you might get an opportunity where you are able to engage in one. Training yourself to say no, especially to casual sex, will train your discipline like nothing else, because one of the most powerful drives of a man is the sexual drive. Being able to master this discipline will provide you with actual power, the power of being in control of yourself. Training to be more pure and less corrupted in this way will open more doors to having an actual relationship, a relationship with a woman with whom you'd want to build a future and grow together. If you made it this far into the video, you might think to yourself that the only road to getting yourself out of the bad situation you are in life is to just suffer, sacrifice all the pleasure, and improve. However, this couldn't be further from the truth. What I talked about in the earlier steps is what is required in order for you to get your life in order. To maintain constant improvement and meaning, you also need periods when you can relax and have some fun. Pretty much you need a balance between improving and relaxing. That's where hobbies come in. The most common hobby that young men nowadays have is playing video games. Actually, scratch that. According to Google, a hobby is an activity done regularly in one's leisure time for pleasure. Most men nowadays have a problem with video games in terms of playing excessively. They're not playing in their leisure time, they just play all the time. If you can't moderate playing video games, you should consider quitting them, at least until you get your life in order. Video games are extremely addictive, especially to men who crave to find meaning and feel useful in the world, because video games can simulate those feelings. I have a few hobbies in my life: board games and movies. movies. Even though I have to watch myself when it comes to board games because I also get addicted easily, when it comes to watching movies, I can manage it, and that's the key. Try to find a hobby or hobbies that don't distract you from the main purpose, but let you relax and make the journey of your life more enjoyable in the long run. So in conclusion, start learning, preferably from reading philosophy books, but also from consuming improvement content online, and apply the principles you learn in your own life to receive wisdom. Start eating healthy, but most importantly, start working out and quit drugs as much as possible in order to attain a more orderly and less chaotic life. Reject the casual hookup and clubbing culture and seek a traditional relationship with a woman with whom you want to build a relationship with. Last but not least, try to find healthy hobbies to relax and balance life out with stages of improvement. Guys, 96.8% of you who are watching my videos are not subscribed, so perhaps you should. Also, a lot of you are still not in the Discord community, so make sure to join us and in the description down below, and let's improve together. Please leave a like on this video, and if you enjoy my content, please consider supporting me on PayPal or Patreon. That's pretty much it. Thank you very much for watching, and remember, meaning is always above pleasure.